We pull up and lo and behold, both of the groups that I tried
Confederates
to avoid were there. In fact, they were the ones who were fighting.
Yo, what's up guys, Prince Charming. We're gonna be checking out Yundon the Sauce God, my first school brawl. School brawls are always interesting because a brawl means there's like more than two people fighting. It's not a one-on-one. It's usually a group of people versus another group of people, and that's when it just gets hectic. I remember school brawls in my school. Man, I went to that high school where it was a good neighborhood. It was just stupid kids who wanted to act all hood and gangster. I went to one of those high schools. And also the way my school was set up, we had like this overview. It was a big circle on the downstairs, and on the upstairs this overview of that. I can't think of the common area or whatever you'll call it, where essentially you can view the fight from bird's eye view. It's just where everybody goes to brawl. It'll usually be after school or like right as the bell rings when everyone's supposed to be going to bus or like to their cars. People will just go at it, especially on the last weeks of school because they don't think they can get in trouble anymore. It got so bad to the point where the last day of school, they actually released us by like halls. That way if we're trying to meet somebody outside, we couldn't do it, and they made us leave the property immediately. There's no hanging around outside of school. But don't forget to hit me with a like, subscribe, and go ahead and comment if you were ever in a brawl. I was never in a brawl. I was in a one-on-one fight, which I can barely call a fight because the other person didn't hit back. But I was never in a brawl. If I was ever in a brawl, bro, I'll just be swinging. If you're my friend and you get hit by one of my fists, sorry. But enough of me talking. Let's go and check out Yundon the Sauce God, my first school brawl. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Rated S for sauce.
At the end of today's video, I'll be giving away 3 $100 Amazon gift cards and 3 signed posters. Stay tuned. So this story takes place back in high school here in the good old US of A. It was my second year of living here in the States, and by this time I was fully Americanized. I knew how to dress, I knew how to talk, I got my first girlfriend, I was on the varsity basketball team. I was here, okay? I made it. I also knew all the social cliques that made high school society what it was. I figured out where I fit in, which of course was with the basketball players. I also learned what groups to stay away from. 2 in particular stood out. The first group had clear red flags, the most obvious of course being the ones they wore in their belt. You know this group.
Oh gosh, Confederates.
Hats. Parents probably didn't vote for Obama. You get the picture. That was the first group I learned to avoid. The second was a little more subtle. These guys I could accidentally get myself in trouble with because they were black, you know what I'm saying? Like, they look like me, which is always deceiving.
Oh my gosh.
People. But I assure you, I had very little in common with these brothers.
The thing about me in high school, I don't think I really had a place where I fit in. I think I just migrated from one group to another. The best group I can say I fit in with was, I wasn't a theater kid at all. I was not a theater kid in the slightest. Don't ever call me a geek theatrical nerd, but I did do theater and I did hang out with a lot of people who did theater. But on the other hand, I also was involved in a lot of school activities, so I was cool with the popular kids. I was just cool with everybody, and plus I was doing Vine around that time, so I was low-key a little internet famous. While cliques, yes, they do exist, the whole system is dumb, bro. Like, once high school's over with and you go to college, ain't nobody care what happened in high school. Everybody starts whole new lives. Nobody really talks to each other anymore. You just really evolve.
Puffed organic leaf inhalers in the bathroom, sagged their pants to the floor.
Oh wow, I didn't even know you could do
school, that. A lot of them were tatted as kind of black guys that made middle-aged white women nervous. Now,
and
I
locked their
doors
and clutched their
not
purse.
because I was scared of them or anything like that. In fact, hood are hilarious.
They're funny, my dude.
These fools were always in trouble with the teachers, school security, the cops. Like, I'm Jamaican, my G. I'm here on a green card. I wasn't trying to get my ass deported by messing with these thug-ass cats. So, yeah, left that alone. Anyway, one day my boy AJ comes to me after school and is like, yo, you want to go see a fight? So
oh gosh.
Like, yeah,
let's get it.
What are we still doing here? So we hop in his whip and we head over to the venue for the fade. We pull up and lo and behold, both of the groups that I tried
Confederates
to avoid were there. In fact, they were the ones who were fighting. Another
important thing about school fights and brawls or whatnot is the venue. The venue is very important. A lot of people just fought at school. I only say fight at school is if that's like your absolute last resort. Like if you just absolutely have to catch that fade at that second just because you don't see them or they run home or they're too afraid of you. Because fighting in school is not worth it. You get a ticket, an actual ticket you actually have to pay money for. It's not fun, especially when you're in high school and 16 and you have a minimum wage job. You don't want to pay a $200, $300 ticket. Plus also sometimes you may get charges pressed against you, which is also not fun. You don't want to have charges against you while you're still in high school. So always pick a good venue. Good venue usually be like a neutral, neighborhood, not something that you live in and not something he lives in. Someplace empty but also busy enough so you don't get jumped and like basically robbed out of your mind.
Apparently during lunch that day, one of the whites and one of the blacks had some friction. The white guy probably called the black guy a monkey. The black guy probably said something about the white guy kissing his sister. Whatever it was, things were said and now a fade had to be ran.
Why do
part
hicks
of me
make
was
out with their
sad,
sisters?
man, because this scene showed me that toxic racial tension was still very much alive and well, even in the middle class community that I lived in.
Oh, it's not going anywhere.
Among the younger generation.
Racism is not going anywhere.
On the other hand, a much larger part of me was very excited because I wanted to see how this shit was going to play out.
Oh, let's see this Tekken match.
History class, I got that shit right here, dog. So I, as well as the dozens of other students who heard about the fight, circled around the whites and the blacks as they prepared to run the fade. I, however, made sure not to
blacks, y'all better take this
seeing
dub.
that my skin color doubled as a team jersey in this situation. And I didn't want to get involved in this little race war. Although, to be honest, I wasn't too worried, seeing that my team was clearly the A side.
Oh yeah.
Let's be honest, right? There's a reason why blacks dominate most of the professional sports.
We're just genetically
but still,
powerful.
Kept my distance.
That's not even like a racial thing in my opinion. Like we're just proven to be genetically superior, and I say that physically, genetically, physically superior. We just get muscle way faster, we're stronger, we're quicker, we can jump higher. That is why we dominate the most like athletic sports. Except for soccer. Soccer, the Europeans got it because they be training with that shit since like 2 years old. As soon as they can walk, they're kicking a soccer ball, bro. Football is probably the most hardest sport you could play. Honestly, you run so much up and down the field. You gotta pay attention. You gotta kick the ball. I'd be out of breath just running half the field. So yeah, y'all can keep that sport. I'm gonna stick with basketball.
Then it happened. Somebody pulled the trigger to start off the brawl, and that trigger was a word that rhymed with trigger. And just like that, the brawl started. And I gotta be honest with you, man, it wasn't looking too good for the whites. I mean, the blacks just overwhelmed them offensively from the first quarter, putting the whites on the defensive pretty much for the entirety of the brawl. It was a complete massacre. I mean, the whites were just not ready. They did not prepare for the sheer firepower that the blacks had brought to the table.
It's just hard to beat a black guy.
Let's call him Rivers. Single-handedly dropped 5 Confederates in quick succession.
Damn!
It was like watching the main character of an anime take on like the level 1 henchman.
What is this guy, Mayweather?
They don't even have names. They're just the filler bad guys. It was vicious. Anyway, after about 5 minutes of this madness, somebody yelled those magic words.
Yo! Somebody calls the cops.
And nothing gets to running. The black guy's attention more than that. So
get to running.
Stops, but it was clear who won this round. AJ and I ran to the car because, as I said, I was wearing one of the team's jerseys. And we all know that the cops aren't exactly the biggest fans of this particular team. And then we left.
So this is the last time I'm going to pause it, but it's just, I kind of realized the fight was going to end with the blacks winning, guys. It's just something about blacks learning how to fight, knowing how to fight. It's just in our genetics. Clearly there's an exception to every rule. I'm not saying that every black person can beat a white person. I'm simply saying from the fights that I've seen on the internet, bro, it seems like black people just have that fighting spirit just in us. I don't know what they call black anger or black aggression, bro, but it's low-key kind of a real thing. Like, black people have this different side of them that they be unleashing. It'd be insane. But yeah, I'm just like Don. I don't be hanging out with the problematic black people. I be chilling. I be hanging out with black people, but the hilarious ones, just the funny ones, not the ones that will fight you. Come on, like, I don't need that much drama in my life.
Went home, and that was that. That was the first high school brawl I ever went to. Moral of the story.
Let's hear that moral.
Racism is stupid. Fighting solves nothing, and be careful of the people you associate yourself with, because trouble has a way of finding company among certain groups of people.
Facts. So that was it for that video, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. I like his little moral of the story he always does at the end. It's true. Racism is stupid. Fighting does not solve anything. I can tell you that fighting really doesn't solve anything. It only makes things worse. It only burns the bridge faster. It's better to, you know, compromise, make up with each other, and just come to a conclusion. Don't start swinging your fist at the sign of every altercation that you have, every argument that you have. Don't start swinging your fist and be like, what's up, bro? What's up, bro? That's childish. That's something you need to learn how to grow out of. You have to learn how to talk with your words, because it's the grown-up thing to do. And plus, frankly, you can't be hitting people when you're an adult, because you will go to jail or get sued or something along the lines. But that was it for the school brawl, and it was a school brawl. We had the blacks versus the whites, and the blacks took the victory. I'm not that surprised. If I had money, I would have put it on the blacks the second I heard it. But don't forget to hit me with a like, subscribe, and comment on this video if you want to apply for me. It's truly Prince Charming. My name is Prince Ohakam. Stay charmed, my friends.